Hello, all my wonderful geometry students. This is Mr. Warner. Uh, I am sorry once again that I am unable to be in class with you today. However, I do look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Right about now, you should all have your notes out. I'd like you to go ahead and write down today's objective. Today is Unit 7, Section 5, Trapezoids. Our objective will be to identify what a trapezoid is and its properties to find missing measures. Unfortunately, today we have a lot to get through in just a little bit of time, so if you note, there is a timer on almost all of the pages, which means you should be writing, because when that timer goes off, I'm turning the page, which means 50 seconds from now, I'm going on. So while you are writing, we identify what a trapezoid is and its properties to find missing measures. I hope that you have your work completed. Remember that this week is progress reports, which means we are halfway through the fourth 6 weeks. Some of you are excited by that. Others of you are kind of dreading it. Remember, grades will come out this week. So once again, our objective to identify what a trapezoid is and its properties to find missing measures. Trapezoid worksheet will be your homework. So once again, you see that the timer is already going, which means you have 4 minutes to complete your warm-up. You need to write down your warm-up in the warm-up section on your notes. First warm-up question is, what is the sum of the interior angles of a heptagon? And your second question is, what is the slope and y-intercept of the function 2x minus 4y equals 16? I will give you a little bit of hint. In order to solve problem number 1, you need your n minus 2 times 180 formula. And in order to solve for the slope and y-intercept of that function, you need to solve for y. Please note you are down to about 3 minutes and 10 seconds. I will be checking tomorrow to see if you have today's warm-up completed. If you need a calculator, you know where they currently are located. And if they are currently not located on the wall, then somebody will need to go across the way and ask Miss Chu if she can bring the calculators out. You are down to 2.5 minutes. Also, for some of you who are looking for things to do after school today, the freshman boys basketball team will play at 5 o'clock in the boys' gym. Come out and support our freshman team. JV will play after that. Please note you are down to 1 minute and 20 seconds to finish up your warm-up. Things to note for problem number 1, n is the sides of a polygon. You're going to see problems just like this on your test on Thursday, so you better be prepared. Problem number 2, solving for y, means you need to subtract 2x to the other side. 25 seconds. And here we go. What is a trapezoid? A trapezoid is a quadrilateral with exactly one pair of parallel sides. Here's what a trapezoid looks like. Please note the base and the top of the trapezoid are in fact parallel, making the sides transversals. So go ahead and fill in the blanks. Quadrilateral and exactly one pair of parallel sides. I'll give you another 20 seconds to do so. Moving on to that next section, parts of a trapezoid. Please note we have the base or the top. We have the base or the bottom. And just like isosceles triangles, we have a leg and a leg. And the final thing to note is that the height or the altitude of a trapezoid is going to be the distance from the base top to the base bottom. If the legs of a trapezoid are congruent, then the trapezoid is an isosceles trapezoid. And isosceles, remember, from isosceles triangles mean that the two legs are the same. So rules of trapezoids. Each pair of base angles in an isosceles trapezoid are congruent. An isosceles trapezoid's diagonals are in fact congruent. And remember, a diagonal goes from one vertex to an opposite vertex. If a trapezoid is isosceles, then the legs are congruent. And finally, I need you to write number 4 in because it's not on your notes. In a trapezoid, the angles that are on the same side of the legs are supplementary. And that means angle A right here and angle D down here, when added together, will equal 180. So I'll give you a minute to write that down. So let's move on to example 1. Given WXYZ is an isosceles trapezoid, can we find all the missing angles? There are a few things that we need to keep in mind. First one, is that the measure of angle X, this angle up here, plus the measure of angle W down here are supplementary. And what supplementary mean? They add up to 180. So 117 plus X equals 180. And we should all be able to solve this problem by now. We're going to subtract 117 from both sides, and X is 63. Now note that it tells us that this trapezoid, WXYZ, is an isosceles trapezoid. And what do we know if it's an isosceles trapezoid? We know that the measure of angle X is congruent to the measure of angle Y. In fact, because WXYZ is an isosceles trapezoid. And if I know that angle X is 63, how much is angle Y? 63. And likewise, isosceles trapezoid means these angles down here are going to be the same. So if angle W is 117, how much is angle Z? Correct, 117. So let's go ahead and fill all of that information in for example 1. Example 2, given that RT is 24.1 and QP is 9.6, can we find PS? Remember, diagonals are congruent. So the first thing we need to do is set up our equation. RT equals QP plus PS. And if we plug in the values that we're given up here, 24.1 equals 9.6 plus X. Subtract 9.6 from both sides. X equals 14.5. Once again, in the isosceles trapezoid below, can we find the value of X? Isosceles trapezoid means these two angles are going to be congruent. So we're going to set those equal to each other. We're then going to get all our numbers on one side. Then we have to get all of our x's to the other. We're then left with 32 equals 2x. Finally dividing by 2, x equals 16. And finally, given ABC is an isosceles trapezoid, can we find the value of X? The important thing to remember in this example is that the two leg angles are going to be supplementary. So let's start it out. 3x plus 12 plus 7x plus 22 equals 180. Combine all your like terms and solve for x. In doing so, you should get x to equal 14.6. Now I know that we went through the examples quick. However, the substitute teacher may start the video over if need be. Tomorrow I will go over these examples one more time there so that you can ask questions. At this point in time, you have the remaining time to work on your homework, work with each other, help each other. Any student assistants in the room, they can help you. And I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.